Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 96 of my Sinto Let's Play. So I'm in my B section because my B mutation went successful in the Nether. Now however, the thing about it that because I combined demonic with imperial, the result is something called an esoteric B. Now the esoteric B, even though it has half another species in it, it's still a B that works over in the overworld. So the species going from here on forward will be overworld only, so no more nether bees, at least. So as you can see, I already started inbreeding them to get a nice amount of those drones before I can extract their species and move forward in the tree, in the legacy of the Stark bee. So again, usually trying to make sure that I'm going for perfect bees to breed them. So this looks fine. This looks even better. I want to try and get rid of the nether aspect if I can. No, it seems like all of them have it. There we go. This is, for example, perfect nether. I want to try and get rid of the nether bees, nether flowers if I can afford doing so. This is even half demonic. That's even worse. I don't want it to go back. Okay, so let's go for slowest. I want to go for something better than slowest. Is there anything? Okay, they're all pretty much the same, so let's just randomly pick two and let them combine again. Let them just breed and get more bees. Alright, so I'm gonna continue working on my track placement project. So I finally got to the point where my buffers here are full, almost full at least, like those are getting filled up. Sorry, those are full. This is also full, and now this starts to get filled up. Now, I already made in the previous episode a way to get rid of any excess logs that I don't need when I get to that point. Seems like this got stuck. It's some weird state. Yeah, it seems like sometimes I'm gonna need to pay close attention to this. Sometimes you just get broken for no specific reason. So instead of directly getting rid of them from here, I'm actually going to try and do something. If you go over the uses of birchwood, you can see that you can actually use them in, where is it? In a coke oven and actually create a little bit more creosote oil. Now, a wooden log, any type of wooden log will create a quarter of a bucket, unlike coal which will create half a bucket. So it's not as good as using coal. But just think about it, there is no other reason for me not to do it. Like, it's something that it's one-time investment, and since I'm already getting all that wood, and at some point it's going to be just thrown away into the void since I'm going to have too much, there is no reason not to add a second coke oven to this. So I actually forgot, how do you make a coke oven block? Okay, so I'm going to need, is there a difference here? Sandy bricks. Oh, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's basically exactly the same. I'm gonna need bricks, and I'm gonna need sand, and I'm gonna need 27 of those. I really hope that I have enough bricks, because I don't really know if I do. Okay, I have this. Yeah, it should be enough, I believe. Let's get some sand. Probably need some more sand. I really hope that the amount of bricks that I've got is enough. So the recipe, yeah, it's not enough. I need a 3x3x3, which is 27, which is hollow, so 26. This is exactly half. So I'm gonna need some more clay. Okay, let me go and find some clay. Okay, so I got a nice amount of those bricks, already cooking them, and it should be enough. So let's create 13 more, or exactly one short. I need a little bit more sand. And this will be exactly the amount that I need. So coke oven brick. Let's store the rest of here for a rainy day. Okay, so I'm going to need a coke oven brick. And I'm going to need, let's see, how do I interface with it? So I already have the entry point of the wood from here. But the liquid will need to come into here. So I'm thinking of simply using an additional ender chest. That will be a lot simpler to do. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So let's create another ender chest, and I'm gonna need a couple more things. Let me get actually everything that I need. Okay, so hopefully I've got everything that I need. Just instead of creating a whole new chest, I just brought one of my old red chests that I'm not using anymore to move lava around. Actually, they're empty as well. Simply change it to that lime chest, so it's easier to access. So let's have it look very nicely like this. Let's change. So we can change exactly those three. So break everything down here. That torch will need to be replaced, of course. Break those blocks. And one more. Okay, and place down the coke oven setup. So a layer of 3. 3 by 3, a layer of 3 by 3 with a hollow one, and a full layer. And let it update. Oh! Okay, that killed this one. Okay, so I can't actually do that. At least not looking like this. This should now update again. It should fix itself. I hope. Okay, yeah, I can't do that. Not like this, at least. Okay, so let's just... Okay, I'd like this to update, please. Why does it refuse to update? Okay, so just remove the block and replace it, and it updated again, so it should be working fine again. Let's separate it then. If I cannot do it like this, let's just move it one block backwards, and that should be as fine. So just need to break this row of blocks. And this should now update. There we go. And I'm gonna need to extract liquid from here as well. So change that to extraction mode, like this, and apply redstone signal to both. So let's just have this and, oh, another torch. And this. Okay, so extracting liquid from both, and now just the entry point. I can probably, yeah, I can use even the same timer, so that will be nice. So rotate this to look like this, and have a filter extract from here, from this chest, with red alloy signal. There we go, it should start cooking. There we go. And I'm gonna need to take out all the charcoal now. Is there an actually use for charcoal? I think charcoal is... I can create torches with it. That's okay. There are many types. I can basically cook with it, with all the medium stone smelting recipes. Can make silicone with it. Can pulverize it into charcoal dust. Don't know what you need that for. Do the same with the macerator. We'll do the same with the rock crusher. What can you do with the charcoal dust? Make gunpowder. Yep. Okay, so charcoal is kind of useless. You can make torches with it. This is the pretty much only the really good use that I can think of. So let's, for the time being, just store it the same way that I've been doing with the coal coke. Simply store it in the barrel. So have this filter like this, with a pneumatic tube into a barrel. And just connect the alloy wire here as well. This is useless. And yep, this should be fine. So over time I'm going to generate slightly more creosote oil and just give it another small use for the birchwood logs. Instead of directly destroying them, just give, once this is full, just give them slightly more use before killing them. Alright, so before actually, since I already have this made, the next logical step would be start placing the actual tracks, or automate the process of placing those tracks. But before doing that, I want to try and modify the current way of the inchworm chunk loading. It has a problem. So let me get there quickly. I'm going to explain what my plan is. Okay, I just noticed something extremely interesting that may explain why did I have started having problems here. By the way, they fixed themselves and now they're broken again. I have an issue with power. So apparently those two solar panels that I took out were really, really important. And this is actually quite funny. Alright, it doesn't actually matter because I'm gonna try, planning to remove this. So my plan here is, okay, first let me fix the solar panels problem. That's quite a big problem, so yeah, let me take care of that. Okay, so first actually let's just replace the solar panels themselves. So some panels, some frames and some solar panels. Let's remove this. This is now officially changing. This and this. And replace everything on the actual frame itself. So change this block with this type of frame with this normal frame. And remove all of this, at least temporarily. And to fix the actual digging problem, I'm gonna need to move it, let's see, right now I'm facing this, I'm gonna need to move one back, two back. Yeah, move 2 blocks back. So 1 and 2. And a quick texture just to move this one back. And now this should be facing this layer and that should be taken care of. And just let it go. I need to monitor this to make sure it reaches the most bottom point of the area. But I'm starting to get slightly worried here. It still seems to be kind of right on the edge of not having power at all. This is not so good. Actually, yeah, I really did not foresee this happening. Those 2 solar panels will keep anything. I guess that 24 solar panels are the perfect balance to keep everything working and in good order. Okay, so the quarry should start fixing itself. Having those 2 solar panels added, it should start increasing the power again and all the surplus energy together with it. And in theory it should be taking care of itself. However, again, I'm going to keep a close eye on this because this is something I never expected to even think about. I was mostly thinking about having problems with frames interacting with each other and having problems. So again, if I took this system out, I can also take this one out. So break those frames here. And what I'm thinking about is using a system of wireless redstone that from the main quarry will send a signal to some other state, some other place, most likely this quarry or this frame's contraption. And using that wireless signal, I can, instead of moving this system twice every time it reaches the top section and making, when you think about it, this is logically wrong because this is simply issues with the way frames and redstone signal works. I had to make this count to 4 and have this entire timer system. It's essentially, when you think about it, it's quite a very not so elegant solution. My point is, if I use a wireless signal, I can send it whenever it reaches either the top or the bottom, just the same, and can manipulate that signal in any shape or way I want, and it's not limited to where the actual position is. This now means that I can send the signal whether it's on top or on the bottom, and the fact that this frame contraption is either close or far away, can ignore it altogether because wireless signal is, after all, wireless. This seems really funny. Those chunks failing to update. Alright, so let me get what I think I'm going to need and can build this. Okay, so hopefully I've got everything that I need. Very conveniently again, my frame is just about to reach the top section. It's not exactly at the top, but it's getting there. Alright, so it's gonna look rather similar in terms of how this frame is concerned, and obviously I did forget one orange cable, so I'm gonna need one orange cable. Will be a good thing to get. So let's get some orange cable and some bundled cable just in case. Can already have a glimpse of what my plan is. Okay, so let's connect this wire at some point, just send the signal. So let's say it's right over here. Again, remember the orange signal is whenever it moves forward. This is the signal I'm interested in. So whenever this moves forward, it sends the redstone signal into the orange wire, which will then transmit into here. Let's create a new frequency, called frequency 2, called red power quarry forward. Good enough. And set name, and there we go. So this is now frequency 2. And right here, I can start tearing everything here apart because it's not necessary anymore. It's actually, the logic will be a lot simpler when you think about it. It's only going to make room for my track placement in the future. No counter, no timer, nothing is needed. Because remember, this is now going to move only once every time it's supposed to move. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use state cells. I'm really taking the like of those. I'm really enjoying them. The interesting thing about state cells, or basically this is how they work, whenever they receive a signal from their input, they obviously create an output on the signal, and then will stick to that output until the timer runs out. But the thing is about them that if they receive a signal, the signal is then lost, but then is there again. I mean, the output is stable. You always get that same thing until there is the whole 2 seconds or whatever the time is for the signal to run out. And this is exactly what I need to counter that weird behavior of redstone signaling and moving frames. So what I'm going to do is use that thing coupled with a pulse former, because I'm only interested in signal pulse, directly into here. I can actually even do this directly. I don't need that wire here. So pulse former directly into that non-inverted cell from my state cell. We can set the state cell to be on 3 seconds intervals. Remember, it doesn't matter, the pulse former will create one pulse as long as the signal is stable, and simply directly connect it to the red power quarry forward, and that's it. There you go, it's so simple. Replace the timer and the counter and all that silly monkey business directly with these 3 simple tiles, and every time it's gonna reach the orange signal, this is gonna move 1 block forward. I can actually manually move it a couple of blocks forward myself. There is no way to cheat this actually, other than temporarily removing this. So yeah, it has some blocks, it can cover some distance. And this is the nice thing about pulse former. They create a like 1 tick long pulse, or I don't know if it's 1 tick, maybe 2 ticks, I don't know, but it's very short pulse. And it's exactly nice for those in-room drives. This is what they need. But also don't forget, the signal has to run out first before you can send it again. Okay, so let's move it a little bit more. And yeah, I can move it like a couple more times. Let's quickly disable this, remove it, make it shorter. Okay, seems good enough, and restate. Why did it break? Replace this to be 3 seconds and it should be fine. And again, set the wireless receiver, red power quarry forward, and we're good. Let's turn this back on and let it run a bit. Okay, so the red-orange signal is about to go through, and you're about to see this thing in action, and you'll see exactly why did I use a state cell, because you're going to see that the receiver here is going to receive the signal twice. It's going to receive it on the first movement, like right before the movement, and right after the movement. And there we go. Now it was very short and you couldn't see it, and I'm actually noticing a problem that I should have used the repeater here to actually, again, counteract the fact that this needs to be moving on a separate time. So let's quickly remove this, and remove this. Place a repeater that I have here so conveniently. Should have a repeater here, there we go. And set it to 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be good enough. And just again add a pulse former and this. Where is it? State cell and wireless receiver. Okay, so this is taken care of. Now I can officially start working towards my actual track placement. However, before I start dealing with the tracks, I'd like to quickly go over to my bees here. I did get enough those esoteric bees because they multiply very nicely. They create 3 drones every single time they reproduce. So I managed to extract the esoteric species and I'm now purifying it. But I'm also going to take it to the next step, which is combining it with whatever I need it to be, which is going to be an ender bee. Now an ender bee, and this is where things will start being interesting, an ender bee has a very annoying damage thingy to them. So I'm gonna use again the extra bees tier 3 machines to help me. Where are the ender bees? Why don't I have any ender bees? Should have got... Oh, I think they're out of... Oh, they're not being loaded. So that chunk hasn't been loaded since, I think. Or is it? Oh no, there are simply a ton of drones here. Oh, they deal a lot of damage. Okay, specifically because of what that happened right now, the fact that they deal a lot of damage, what I'd like to do, I'm gonna combine the esoteric princesses with ender drones, so it's not very likely that the damaging effect is going to last, but since I cannot know that for sure, what I'd like to do is apply an effect cancellation serum to them, which I actually had upgraded. There we go, I had an effect cancellation serum extracted from something, I don't remember what, but I had it fully charged and fully upgraded by quality. So I'm simply going to apply to 2 drones, or actually let's apply to 4 drones. You know what, let's apply to as many drones as possible until it's going to run out completely. And those drones are the one that I'm going to combine to make sure that even though the ender trait lasts, at least the damage thingy that they can do will be removed, because that's going to be extremely annoying if it's going to stay. So let's take care of that in the meantime. Okay, so one more step before actually starting to place those tracks. I'm going to need to create also booster tracks in addition to normal tracks. Now the actual placement of booster tracks and normal tracks will be something that I'm going to take care of later. However, I'm going to need to have those booster tracks because since I'm using only the basic tracks at the moment, the basic cards and the basic tracks, and not Steve's cards for example, which can have their own engines and movement system without relying on the tracks they're going on, I'm going to have those booster tracks. So I'm going to use relatively the same crafting network that I have here. It's going to be slightly changed maybe, but overall it's going to be looking exactly the same. So let's have the fabricator here to create those booster tracks. So it's going to need some redstone and some advanced trails. So advanced trails, I think I'm going to have it looking something like this. Advanced trails are created in a rolling machine, and they actually need the actual standard rails to be created. And I think those rolling machines know how to interact with each other, and this is something I'm going to rely on. So let's have this. I'm thinking about things to change here because something I'm probably going to have to do. Let's try something like this. Also remember that I'm going to extract items out of here into an ender chest or something, so it's not something that I can block away from. Let me actually think about it for a second. Okay, so in order to maintain some rather logical order, I'm going to go build it in the following way. I'm just going to need some redstone conduits to actually connect power to the new rolling machine as well. Certainly hope that I still have some because... oh, I have just one. That's derpy. Let me get some more. Okay, so those 18 conduits should be enough. Let's check something. Can I have a rolling machine interact from the bottom part of this rolling machine? So let's place the recipe quickly. It's going to require 3 standard rails. only want, yeah, okay. There is no nice way around it. So let's have those 3 here. And gold here. And redstone here. Does it know how to interact with the top of this rolling machine? Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it. Oh, it doesn't have an energy. Whoops. Let's connect it to energy first then. Okay, so it creates 1 stack. And yeah, it doesn't pull from the top section. Now, I don't know if it doesn't pull from the top section because it's a rolling machine or because it's pulling from the top section. So let's try to modify that. Let's try having it actually right here on the side. So pull that and have it right here. And again, paste the recipe. So some rolling machines, some of this, and place only 1 here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it knows how to interact with it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to need to pull those standard rails manually. So that could be changing, making this either more convenient or more complicated. Okay, so I'm going to need those booster tracks here. But I'm also going to need this to be quite nice. So let's have the rolling machine down here. And let's set the standard rails like this. Can have this in here. And the gold in here. And the redstone in here. I already bought a buffer for something like this. So the buffer will be right there. I need to make sure it's rotated correctly. So like this. Now remember, buffer has 6 sides, 6 faces, and 5 of them only have a separate inventory, but the 6th one, the one that is facing towards that at the moment, can interact with all 6 inventories. So that's exactly what they're used for a situation like this. I'm going to need to transpose out of here, like this, and obviously I forgot to bring tubes. Okay, so connect it via tubes like this into the buffer, and just apply a timer to it to start doing something. And I can very much hope, yeah, okay, it pulls those standard rails out, and the moment there are 3, it should start creating. Oh wait, no power. No power, no power, no power. Let's connect it just like this. This is ugly. This is extremely ugly. Okay, there we go. Let's take some out. Come on, doesn't it know how to interact with the buffer? Really, it can't interact with the chest, but not with the buffer. Okay, let's just replace it with a chest then. Okay, so let's replace that buffer with a chest, and hopefully that will solve the problem. Obviously, since the top face is blocked, I cannot access it and place all those excess standard rails, but there we go, it pulled from it already, so there is no problem. Alright, so this makes this. It has access to wooden rail beds. It just needs some redstone. So let's again manually give it redstone. Now remember, so far everything related to those tracks creation system is automatically manual. Sorry, not automatically manual, that doesn't make sense. It's completely manual. There is no supplying it with resources yet, any of it. So something to keep in mind. But other than that, it should last a really long time. And we're gonna need the booster track a really long time basically, so it's fine. So let's place all that redstone in here, and let's place the rest of this iron in here. Now I fully have track creation system and booster track creation system, fully automated hopefully. So that's nice. Okay, so right before ending the episode, let's see how my bees are doing. Okay, so I got 4 of those bees. Yes, seems pretty fine. And let's compare them. Let's see exactly what's the difference. So this one has it's been treated. You can also see it doesn't stack anymore because it's a different bee now. And you can see, you should be able to see the exact difference between those bees. So let's get, where's my Beealyzer? It's already on me. Okay, so this ender bee has the effect of ends, and this one doesn't. And the end effect is the one that deals damage to you. Can you actually see it anywhere else? Nope. But that one, that effect ends, that's the bad thing. That's the one that kills you. And actually, I think a genuine demonic drone also has something that sets you on fire. Let's see if I can find that. That's esoteric. I need demonic. Can I find a demonic one quickly? It's a very nice thing to see. There we go. So I got the demonic one. I can also get the fiendish one and the sinister one. And you'll see that every type of those nether bees, this one is aggressive. It's sting you and it's flammable. This is the demonic strain. This can sets you on fire basically. This one is demonic. There you go. For some reason this demonic has nothing, but this demonic has again flammable. And the sinister is aggressive, so that's again deals damage. So taking 2 of those special drones, those drones that have their effect cancelled, let's combine them with the current esoteric princess, and let's hope for the best. So hopefully in the next episode can finally get the next train, and also start working towards my booster track and normal track placement. So as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.